Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Before I switch you over to my random rant, basically wanted to just mention the fact that there are some pretty serious bushfires going on in Australia at the moment, the country I live. And usually I share my Patreon details and things like that, but I thought I'd just leave my favorite charity or foundation at the top of my description if you wanted to donate to that instead. But I also wanted to thank my patrons, of course, and especially want to shout out Wersland. I thank you every week, but bro, you help me out in ways that surprises the hell out of me. So thank you, dude. Anyway, back with the video. Hello, testing. Fucking hell, guys. I just did a whole recording and my mic was off. Fucking sucks. Oh, well, let me start again. Damn it. I was flowing with that as well. I never flowed the second time as well. I will try. We'll see. I'll let you know if I'm flowing or not. I'll let you know if I'm being authentic or fake. Alrighty. That is so fucking annoying. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So, starting over again. What I feel like talking to you guys about is like... fuck. I'm trying to remember what I was saying last time. Never works. You know what I gotta do? I just gotta say what I feel like saying. What I feel like saying to you guys is... there's a very interesting path I kind of started. I dropped out of uni to trip on psychedelics, basically, because I felt like I was learning way more from just meditating on acid than I was any lecture I was in. So that was the choice I made. And it's a very hard choice to make because it's like, well, I had to disobey a lot of what this outside world was telling me. Stay in uni. Stay in uni so you can get a career, and you sure as hell do not want to be poor, and it doesn't matter what job you have, just as long as it pays a decent amount of money. Basically, these are the messages I feel I've been receiving from the outside world. Now, of course, you guys, well, at least those of you who watch this channel, you know that I received some pretty powerful messages on psychedelics, powerful in the sense that it changed me. And the messages were essentially that you can be happy whenever you want to be, as well as you can do whatever you want to do. Now, I knew what I wanted to do, and at that time, especially when I was on psychedelics were the closest thing I had to meaning at that point. I just couldn't understand why I was in uni. And it was so hard to motivate me to do these things. And it's scary to pull out. It was very scary to pull out because I knew that one day I'd be probably a father and I'd have a family who I'd be responsible for. But I can't describe to you guys the passion I had, seriously, for tripping. I freaking loved it. To the point where I would just like, I was not engaged in uni at all, so I just started tripping every time I went to uni. I was tripping a lot, and in all fairness, I would not recommend people to trip as much as I was tripping. But at that time, that was my one love, psychedelics. Fucking loved them. And that's not how I am these days, but at that point, I started receiving some insane info. But anyway, I'm getting off the point. What I wanted to talk about is the fact that this message that I've been receiving from specifically the machine elves on psychedelics is like, they seem to almost contradict each other. Almost. In the sense it's like, well, I've been told we can be happy whenever we want to be. But then I'm also told that we can do whatever we want to do, and we should do what we want to do. But the question is, why would we do anything if we could be happy in any state? Why would one thing be better than the other? What is the purpose of doing what I want when I could do what I didn't want to do and still just be as happy? What is the point of taking action ever when I can be happy in any state? So the thing is, happiness is an inherent quality. You can be happy whenever you want to be. We were born with the capacity to be incredibly happy. As children, you could literally just climb playgrounds and jump off of that playground and you just laugh your ass off because you're having the time of your life. It's like, well, That doesn't make any sense to me now. but it did back then. And it's like, well, that capacity to have as much happiness as you want doing frivolous things, it's still there inside you. Unfortunately, I think the ego is responsible for this. I think the human brain attaches itself to, or the mind attaches itself to these desires, and it knows how good happiness feels, and so it starts depriving you of this happiness, and it attaches it with this concept that the ego craves, and it says to you, if you achieve this thing, then you can be as happy as you want to be. So you go after that thing. You go after that thing with everything you've got. And then you find that you're still unfulfilled. And you find that you're not as happy as you want to be. And the ego speaks again and says, oh, well, that actually wasn't the thing that you wanted. What you really wanted was that promotion in this job. Then you get that promotion. You still feel the same way. And it says, well, it's probably because the ego says, it's probably because the very top position of this job is really what you want. And finally, you're about 65 years old. All you want to do is retire, but damn it, you're going to get that job because you're going to have that happiness that you craved when you started your career. You get that promotion and you're like, I just wasted my entire fucking life because I should have been spending it with family, and I should have been spending it doing things I wanted to do. And the ego's like, I got you, son. Got you, fool. So this is the trap that a lot of people fall into. And so the reaction that we get is like, well, I shouldn't attach myself to the outside world at all then. You know, maybe I should just focus on cultivating my own happiness. And this is a good response from a lot of people. You know, we know that a lot of incredibly wise men have come to similar conclusions. Epicurus, a wicked Greek philosopher, came to something like that. I think Pythagoras even was a dude who believed in distancing yourself from society. We know lots of people do this. But the thing is, I don't think we take action in the outside world for happiness. I think the ego may be tricking us in that way, but I think the ego actually has like some kind of like, there's an undercurrent of positive intention. I think what we go out and we take action in the outside world for is meaning and purpose, because these aren't inherent qualities. I mean, maybe they are. Maybe just being alive is, you know, I mean, it's an experience of some kind, and maybe there's a cosmic audience watching you who you're fulfilling your true purpose for. But shout out Machine Elves. But for us at least, I think that in order to achieve meaning is something that's extracted when there's a goal. You don't get that purpose from just sitting and watching TV all day. So it's totally okay to be engaged with the outside world. You can be happy and you can pursue purpose. Happiness is an inherent quality. We don't do things in the outside world to be happy. We do things because they achieve meaning and purpose. And you can do good for other people. You can become stronger and better and more knowledgeable and things like that, things which aren't inherent to us. So I guess the reason I bring this up is because it's important to remember the balance when you're living your life. Because unfortunately, when we tend to get really lost in one or the other. Either we're not engaged with the outside world and we're allowing ourselves to feel good. And you know, I'm not gonna bag on that. I think that's fine. I've met a lot of people who are just the main priority in life is just to feel good and be happy. A lot of these people I've met do tend to have ambition, and they simply won't be able to go after their ambition though, because they are constantly met with having to overcome doubt and fear, and their main prerogative in life is to feel good. So when they come up against this doubt and this fear, they just simply retreat. And I think that you usually have to overcome those things. A lot of these people have grand ambitions, and so it's like, it tends to be the case that you have to overcome those things to achieve those grand ambitions. It's either that, or you get lost in the game and you start pursuing your goals and your desires, and you don't allow yourself to be happy until you achieve those things. Remember that you're allowed to be happy while you pursue your goals and your desires. And if you fail, there's no reason to be upset with yourself and disappointed. This is a game that you're playing, and you're the one who chose the rules, and you're the one who chose to pursue this purpose and this meaning. I remember Alan Watts talking something about the reason why people go to the movies. And I can't remember if he said it like this, but this is kind of what I extracted from this lecture anyway. What I interpreted from it was that, you go to the movies to see a movie. Let's say you're watching a horror movie. I think that's the example Alan Watts used anyway. If what you hold in the forefront of your mind is that this is all a show, this is kind of on a side note, by the way, guys, but if you kind of hold in your forefront of your mind that what you're watching is just a show, you're not going to be scared once, and you're not going to be entertained once. It's going to be a boring ass movie. On the other end, if you're totally lost in the movie and you're like, this is real life, this is all there is in life, and my power is totally in the movie, you're going to come out of that a fucking traumatized person, and you ain't going to function anymore. You've seen a chick twist her head 360 degrees on her body, you ain't going to sleep tonight. No, it's like there's a balance where you know that you're watching a show, but you don't keep reminding yourself of that. And instead you just play the game, and you play along, and you get entertained, and you get scared. But when it gets too intense, you remind yourself, this is just, I'm the one who chose to watch this movie. I'm the one who invented this narrative for myself. I'm here to play the game. And remember, it's me who has the power. And if I want, I can leave the movie. But I don't want to, because I'm having fun. So many of us, including me, we get lost in this world where it's like you think you need to achieve something to be happy. You think you just get lost in that world. You just get lost in the maze. And however this maze directs you, or you're directed in the maze, directly influences your mood. And if you fail in the outside world, then you feel terrible. And if you achieve something, you feel good. Unfortunately, usually it's the case that your sadness when you fail is greater than your joy when you achieve something. A lot of the time, anyway. Because as I was saying before about the ego, how it knows how to just keep you walking forward and forward and forward and onwards without you ever patting yourself in the back. But on the other end, there is the option of you just doing nothing in life because you're too afraid of life. You don't want to be engaged with the world because you're afraid of that horror. And so you don't allow yourself to pursue your true desires because you're afraid of fear. And you just want to be happy. And you think that if you engage with the outside world, you can't be happy. There's a balance. You're allowed to be as happy as you want to be, and you're allowed to do what you want to do. And this is the most freeing revelation, I think. Because then you're placed in a endless sandbox, a video game, where you can do whatever the fuck you want to do and feel whatever the fuck you want to feel. And that is ultimate freedom. Ultimate freedom. Well, I'll leave it there anyway, guys, because this is a short one. And I do, this is obviously just a quick little vlog, a very casual little vlog. But I want to make I'm also holding the camera really close to myself. Sorry about that, but I just did a workout, and so it hurts my biceps just to hold the camera this distance away. But yeah, I got a video with proper editing done that should be released pretty shortly. It's about the Truman Show, going in depth with the machine elves. There's a lot of detail in it and a lot of rationalizing. So I hope you guys jam with it. I liked making the video a lot, so I think you guys are gonna like it. But I want to make this channel together with you guys, make this the best channel I can for you, as well as express myself and have fun with it. So we'll strike that balance. Love you guys though, seriously, the best fucking audience ever, and I look forward to making another one of these videos soon. Stay positive, guys. Peace.